Now we've had some politicians, we've had someone from Planned Parenthood, and a few other people. And the first thing I have to do before I get started, I have to take a bow to everybody wearing a pink shirt, and to anybody affiliated with Planned Parenthood. I bow to you. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I've been in Las Vegas since 2009 when I started going to UAWOW. Planned Parenthood saved my life. I want everyone to, some people have misconceptions about Planned Parenthood. It's not just about abortion. It's so much more, and I think that we miss the mark when we think that it's just about that. Women, we have to stand up together. We've got to save each other. And for you men that are here, help save us. Support us and stand with us. When someone's asking you to march for Planned Parenthood, help us. I mean, when you're trying to take away funding for women that have breast cancer examinations, huh? What in the hocus is that? Who thinks of things like that? I can remember my grandmother, she passed away when she was 96 years old. And I can remember it was back in the late 90s. She stopped driving when she was about 80 years old. And I remember one day going to her house and she said, "Karla, I need a ride." "Grandma, why do you need a ride? We do everything for you. We cook for you, we go to the line, we do whatever you need." She said, "I need you to take me to go vote." Okay. She said, "I'm taking you with me because you're going to vote too." I said, "Grandma, why am I going with you to go vote? You don't really need to vote." And she was 96 years old, and it took almost everything in the room for her not to throw at me. My grandmother was 96. Now I'm African American. There was a day and a time where my grandmother could not vote. She lived in that age. I never knew what that was like. So she told me, if you don't take me to vote, and I was living in Los Angeles, she said, "I'm going to get this bus schedule together and I'm going to go and take a bus and go vote." There's no way in the world that me or any one of my great-granddaughters, granddaughters, daughters, nieces should not be going with me to go vote. But she also handed me the booklet that they have on what to vote about. You need to know what you're voting for and who you're voting for. You got people coming and say, "I support you." Then they come and say good things and then they leave. They're not here anymore. We need to be aware of that, okay? So we got to stand up for things like that. There was a time where being an activist, it's still even hard for me to say, being an activist, I didn't even know what that was about until at the age of 36. I had a daughter. I'm 42 years old now. My daughter's 6 years old. And when I had my daughter, it was like a light switch that went on. My daughter could not go through life the way I went through life. I'm African American and I'm a Mexican woman at the same time. I've been through so many things. I've been a high school dropout. I've been homeless. I've been abused. I've been through so many things, and when I went back to school, through the help of caring professors, through the help of different programs, I came to realize I matter. Ladies, we matter. We are running things up in here. We can be the president of the United States if we wanted to. Why can we not? I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I purposely named my daughter Karla Washington. That's a bad little girl, y'all. You should see her. She has come through many things with me. My daughter she's a part of UNLV. When you see me, you see my daughter. There's not one person that doesn't know me, that doesn't know my daughter. For the vagina monologues, we made vagina cupcakes. My daughter was like, with the help of that lady back there, my daughter was like, not only do they taste good, I want to help make it. My daughter said, everyone that would say, "Well, what is mommy doing on Saturday?" Vagina monologues. I want my daughter to be very aware of who she is and be proud of who she is. To be able to walk and talk and know that she matters. Now, I can't talk about different laws and different policies. I just bring regular things to people because I have sense, I have common sense. And lately things have been disturbing me, and I want us to think about it because these changes are things that we can make ourselves. These are just small changes that we can make. So I need you guys to bear with me. Now, very recently, about 2 months ago, there was a young man and he was murdered. And the whole world went up in uproar about this. Now, his parents were speaking at an event, and even though as a parent, I really felt for this young man. I felt for his family. But his father got on the radio and he was on TV and he said something, and I'm listening. We're talking about Trayvon Martin, I'm listening. And he talked about what he's going through, and he was getting choked up. And I can remember getting choked up driving down the street listening to this. And then he said, one of the greatest gifts that God could give you, one of the greatest gifts is to have a son. Everything he said before then and after then, he lost me. One of the greatest gifts, if you are not a parent, is to have a child. I want my daughter to know that she is the best thing that's ever happened to me through abuse, through all the violence I went through. I was 36 before I had a child. Been wanting to be a parent forever. Been wanting to get love from anything, anyone, anybody. And when I gave birth to that little girl, she is the best thing since Cracker Jacks with a gift in the box. I need you to understand that. Women, we say it too sometimes. I've heard it before. The greatest gift is a boy, is a man. You got to come through a woman. Excuse me. But these are just small things. Sometimes we say them and we don't realize it. And I don't hold you at fault for it. I just want you to think about it. It's small things that we can do. I was in Food for Less this morning because I had to feed my daughter and make sure she was okay before I came out here. And we were driving, we were in the cart. My daughter likes to push the cart. And I had a friend with me, and he's handicapped, and he was in a little driving cart. We turned the corner in the aisle, and this lady said, she almost hit him, I'm sorry, she said, female driver. What?
Oh my God.
Why do we think about it? So are you saying you can't drive? I want you guys to look at me. In 2003, I lost 100 pounds. And one of the things I wanted to do, and this takes it back, some of you may not remember this, there was a thing called Smokey and the Bandit. There was Burt Reynolds used to drive a Trans Am, and his sidekick drove a truck. I wanted both. I wanted to be a truck driver so bad. In 2004, after I lost weight, I became a truck driver. I can out-drive anybody, man, woman. Stop saying things like that. We do it to ourselves. We cut each other off. And don't think that people in high places don't listen to that. They don't have to put us down if we're constantly doing it to ourselves. Think about it. Think about what you're saying. I can tell you, I've seen men do the darndest things behind the wheel of a vehicle, and I do have road rage. I don't care who you are. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you have it. I'm that woman that rolls the window down and goes off. I need us to think about what we're doing and what we're saying. We need to stand up for each other. We need to stand up for these things that are going on. You're talking about politicians that want to take away my right. This is my body. And you want to be all up in my womb? No, you cannot have any part of this loveliness. I make the decision. I decide. You decide. You decide. You better decide. And if you're a man, you help that woman next to you. Tell her she has the right to decide. We got to stop doing this to each other. You got to get out there and you got to see those politicians head on. You ain't got to have no major education, and you don't have to have a big education to be able to tell them, I decide. And if you don't support me in my right, then guess what? You don't get my vote. Planned Parenthood is the best thing smoking. If you have not signed there, hold up those signs. If you're with Planned Parenthood, you got one of those signs, and you have not signed that, you need to run to them and go sign it. We have a choice, and I need you guys to use your voice. Think about it. Like I said, I don't talk about all these big things. I can't talk about all the different laws, and I don't have that big degree and all those extra things. I just have common sense, and I know what's right and I know what's wrong. And there are people out there that want to make decisions for us, and we got to tell them, hell no. Not now, right now. We have to stand up for each other. You don't have to have a lot of money. All you gotta do is just have your ID card, be 18 years old, be able to read, and I'm asking you to read these leaflets that are coming in front of your face and ask questions. You see the politicians all the time, here, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me, and they keep moving. And they'll say something that's real key to you. I'm here to help reduce tuition, or I'm here to do this, something that might sound good to you. But then you walk up to them and you ask them, what do you feel about Planned Parenthood? How do you feel about a woman's rights? Ask them and look them dead in the eye. And don't leave till you get that answer. I'm asking you. You guys are the future for my child, my daughter. I want my daughter to be able to have that right. I want my daughter to be able to have that right. And all of you guys help that. I see people that I already know. I love you. I love you. And I love you because you love me and you love Kennedy. And it's real. I want you guys to remember that. I want you to think about what we're doing. We're going to stand, we're going to walk, we're going to crawl for women's rights. That's what we're going to do.